It's a quiet evening in a suburban neighborhood. Margaret Thompson, a widowed elderly woman in her late 70s, is out for her evening stroll with her loyal German shepherd, Max. Margaret rescued Max 2 years ago from a shelter, unaware at the time that he was a retired U.S. Army canine with years of training in protection and combat. As the sun sets, the streets grow quieter. Margaret walks near a small park when two men in hooded sweatshirts emerge from the shadows. The attack. The men, looking for an easy target, approach Margaret. "Hand over your purse, lady," one of them demands. Margaret clutches her bag tightly, fear evident in her eyes. "Please, I don't have much," she stammers. The second man tries to grab the purse, shoving Margaret to the ground. But before they can get away, a deep growl pierces the air. Max springs into action. Max, who had been walking calmly beside Margaret, transforms in an instant. The retired military dog's instincts kick in, and he lunges at the attackers with precision. One of the men yells, "Get this dog off me!" as Max clamps down on his arm, expertly immobilizing him. The other man attempts to run, but Max chases him down, barking ferociously until he freezes in place, terrified. Margaret, though shaken, calls out, "Max, stay!" The disciplined dog immediately returns to her side, standing guard and growling lowly as the attackers cower. The police arrive. A passerby, hearing the commotion, had already called 911. Within minutes, police cars arrive on the scene. The officers are initially surprised to see an elderly woman and her dog holding two grown men at bay. One officer, kneeling to check on Margaret, asks, "Are you all right, ma'am?" Margaret nods, pointing to Max. "Thanks to him, I'm fine." The officers quickly handcuff the two men. One of them mutters, "We didn't know the dog was some kind of trained killer." The officer smiles, looking at Max. "He's not just a dog, he's a hero." The story goes viral. The next day, Margaret's story is picked up by local news. Clips of Max in action, captured by a passerby's phone, go viral. Headlines read, "Retired Army Canine Saves Elderly Woman from Attack," and "Hero Dog Foils Robbery Attempt." Margaret receives an outpouring of support from her community, including offers to replace her torn purse and medical assistance for her bruises. Max becomes a local celebrity, with people sending him treats and toys. A heartfelt recognition. A week later, Margaret and Max are invited to a special ceremony at the local police precinct. The police chief presents Max with a medal for bravery, while Margaret is given a certificate of recognition. As cameras flash and the crowd applauds, Margaret speaks into the microphone. "I rescued Max 2 years ago, but it turns out he's the one who rescued me. I'll never forget what he's done for me, and I hope this reminds everyone of the incredible service our military dogs provide." Closing scene. The story ends with Margaret and Max walking back home through the same park, this time with smiles on their faces. The camera pans out as Max looks up at Margaret, wagging his tail. A true hero, ready for whatever comes next. Final message. Heroes come in all shapes and sizes, even with 4 legs. Adopt a shelter dog today and discover the difference they can make.